So Kyle and I spent about a week talking about the sub box, designing it, figuring out which materials we were going to use. I decided to go with the CT Sounds Meso 8-inch. It's a dual voice coil sub. The voice coil itself is 2.5 inches. It's got an SPL rating of 82.3. The excursion is 18 millimeters. And this sub requires 0.3 cubic feet of internal volume, and the displacement is 0.08. Our goal was to build a box that was 0.38 cubic feet. We ended up overshooting that a little bit. That's kind of the nature of fiberglass. When you're using a really strange shape with lots of compound curves, it's hard to nail down exactly what the volume is, but I feel like we came pretty close. We're probably near 0.45. We might have to fill in the corners with filler to try to reduce that size a little bit, because I want it to be as close to the recommended specs as possible. If you guys haven't worked with UV reactive resin yet, you guys need to check it out. SMD has a version. You can find off-brands online for a little bit cheaper, but I like knowing that the product that I'm getting is top quality. This UV resin cures in a matter of minutes instead of hours, and that really helps speed up the build time. Since it was the middle of the winter when we laid the fiberglass, I decided to go with a black light to cure the resin instead of setting it outside. This is what you end up with. So I started peeling the tape away from the rear seat there. There's some fiberglass way down in there. That is, let's see, yeah, right down in there. That's keeping the seat from folding down. So we're definitely going to have to trim that off, but I think I can get this out now. I bought a $35 LED blacklight, and this thing, it really works. It really cures quickly. It's the right wavelength to cure it. So we basically just set that in there, and it cured within a couple of minutes. We moved it around a couple of times, but where it was shining without shadow, it cured just, I don't know, maybe 4 minutes.
tape is sticky. We put down the blue tape because we wanted the resin to have something to stick to, but also it's less sticky than the metal tape that I put down as a protective layer. So basically, the blue tape is supposed to peel away from the silver tape, but it ends up, it's just a sticky mess anyway, so that didn't, I mean, it helped a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it did actually help quite a bit. Still a little tacky back here on the back side, so I'm gonna try to pull this off a little bit and point my UV light back on it. Boy, I know I'm not getting the angle very well for you guys, sorry. One-handed too, but yep, it worked.
So I like to use this ram board for all kinds of things. I make patterns out of it. I lay it down so I have a clean surface to lay on. I put it over the workbenches sometimes if I need to do some spray painting. It's a good all-around type of tool. With this project, not only did I use it to make a couple of templates for the car, but I took a piece and rolled it into a cylinder that was the same size as the sub. So when we were designing everything, we didn't have to hold this 20-pound sub in midair for extended periods of time. When we were gluing the sticks into place, it was really handy to have a lightweight model, basically, of the sub. We're essentially using these sticks to hold up and set in place the speaker ring. That way, when we lay up our first layer of fiberglass, it's in position and the shape is correct. The last thing we're going to do before we go home is stretch some fleece over the dowels and the speaker ring, and we're going to spray glue that layer of fleece into place, and then we're going to put some resin on it and let it set up, call it a day.